Welcome, everybody, to the 64th episode of the Dandemonium Podcast. Now, some of the previous ones have been a little light on time. If I put the energy out to make an episode or record anything whatsoever, I consider that an episode, okay? Whether you like it or not. Last time I had the AI voice roasting me. She was not kind at all. I was very upset, disappointed, and whatever. Life goes on. What are you going to do? Right? And this episode is going to be about yard work. So let's just get started. Yard work is a necessary evil when you are a home buyer. I have been a homeowner for 11 years now. And I thought, okay, it's fine. It's fine. The house could be burning down, but I'm just looking in the other direction. It's fine. I have neglected my yard, okay? I don't know. I'm not happy about it, right? I had big plans for all these modifications that has happened over the years and just accumulating yard work, neglecting the yard work that needs to be done to maintain and keep up with a nice manicured lawn, whether it's the front yard, backyard, and we ain't talking about manscaped or nothing like that. I'm talking straight up physical grounds keepings. All right. And there was always big plans. Like I would chop down a tree. I was like, you know what? Let's leave 6 feet because I'm going to carve out this beautiful sculpture. And granted, okay, mind you, I have zero experience with carving in general, let alone carving with a chainsaw. I don't know how I was going to do it, but I had dreams. I had big plans to carve out this beautiful sculpture. It wasn't enough to maybe there's a bald eagle perched up on this tree stump, right? Carve out a beautiful eagle, right? Maybe I carve out this fantastic nude woman, right? It's in the backyard. This specific tree was in the backyard, okay? So it doesn't matter what. I'm not putting this stuff in front of anybody that doesn't want to see it. Anybody that sees this would be invited to my home. We're hanging out in the back. There's this beautiful sculpture where this tree used to be. This dying tree, this infested dying tree. But it would be beautiful. With the rest of the cutoffs, what else? I envisioned that I was going to make anything that you can make out of wood. I was going to build benches. Okay? I was going to build park benches and donate them to the community. Okay? I was going to start a custom knife business where I'm carving out these custom wood handles out of this fine wood and making patterns and starting a business. This is entrepreneurship, right? And, then time went on. Time keeps ticking. I planned to make rocking chairs. At one point, I was like, I think I have enough wood cut off where I can build a carousel, these custom horses and whatnot. There's just this whole big gazebo carousel at one point. Maybe I can, what else can you build with wood? Anything that you could build with wood. Some of it I was going to burn. All right. I didn't have all the wood that I needed for all these grandiose ideas that I had. Right. But I had vision. Right. I had a purpose for these things. And what happened? Time happened. Okay. These cut off pieces of dead tree just sit there and they just rot. Right? For the past 11 years, I have created so many different homes for insects and little chipmunks and bunnies. This property is like a goddamn Disney fairy tale over here. All these squirrels galore, right? I have more trees than the neighbors that I can any neighbors around me that I can, within a stone's throw away, as they say. Do people still say that? I don't know. But I'm saying it here because like trees and nature's, it's good. It's good. It's a natural thing. Like, it's nice to have little critters and wildlife and stuff around your yard. But you know what isn't good? What isn't good is when these little critters in fucking these little, I didn't want to say nuances, but these little what do you call them? Nuisances. That's not nuance, it's a nuisance. These little nuisances, maybe, I don't know. They just like they get a little too comfortable. They're like, "Oh, thank you for creating this wonderful space where I can thrive and I can make a family and support my little chipmunk family," right? Well, you know what happened? Time. And your time is up, you little chipmunks. All these grand plans that I had that just sit there in the backyard has created a home. It's created nature. It's created a flourishing ecosystem in my yard. Now, I don't think the neighbors are too happy with this, and personally, it has gotten to a time where I'm like, I can't do this anymore. Okay? I can't harbor all these illegal fugitives around my yard just trying to create, just, it's survival. Right? These little creatures, they're just looking to maintain, they're just doing what they naturally do in nature. I'm going to sound like Kamala Harris there, to survive. To like, that's all we're all looking to do is just survive. We have these natural instincts in us. Okay? We have gotten lazy. We go buy our food at a store, right? We buy things that are pre-made. We don't go out and make them anymore, like the big dreams that I had for these businesses and all these products and anything that you can make out of wood. These sculptures I was going to do, I was going to be the next Michelangelo. I was going to say, how do you say Michelangelo with Dan? Michelangelo, D'Angelo. That doesn't make sense. None of this makes sense, okay? But I see squirrels, I see chipmunks, I see bunnies. How beautiful is it to see just a bunny in its natural northwest suburban fucking habitat? Just like to be able to create a space in such a dense population where it's like these little critters can still survive. They still have hope. They still have dreams, just like I had, making all these things out of wood. But you know what happened? Your time is up, little critters. I'm sorry. Okay? I have a hole that I honestly believe if I take one step in this hole, I don't know if I'm on a sinkhole property or whatever, but this is like something is burrowing in the front yard. And like it is gone, in time has taken its course, right? And if you don't address something, it just continues to get worse and worse and worse. So what we have to do, and like after all this time has passed, now there is so much work to be done. I'm overwhelmed. I don't know what to do with myself. The custom knife handle business is no longer a vision. Those dreams have faded. The sculpture, the tree ended up being so rotted out, I had to knock it down anyways and try and burn it. That's just more shit that's laying around the yard now. Okay? And it's like you gotta keep up and maintain all this stuff around you and your property. Right? Because if you don't, it gets to a point, time takes over, time keeps on ticking. It doesn't stop for anybody or anything. It just keeps going and going and going. And then you have so much. There's so much to do all the time. All right, so now I am picking up those loose ends and those pieces that I have let go over the years. And I'm happy that I was able to create this flourishing environment for these chipmunks and maybe even a groundhog. I think I got Punxsutawney Phil on vacation over here, just making his home in my front yard. I don't know why it chose that spot. I don't know what got it all started, but now there's like literally, if I step in that hole, it's like Alice in Wonderland, a whole scenario where I drop down into this whole psychedelic other world down there. Perhaps. I haven't. I haven't taken that chance. I don't want to take that leap, right? I am not taking that chance. So all I can do, I'm going to put a little scope in the tunnel with a little light, hook it up to my phone, and I am going to see how far the hole goes back. Maybe I'll run into some critters, maybe I won't, but I need to get to the bottom of this. I need to know where this hole goes. And it's just I've just let everything go too much. All right. And now I'm a fat piece of shit. I have gained 30 pounds in the past 4 years when back then, like, it was easy peasy lemon squeezy to get rid of this shit. I could have started the business. I could have been building rocking chairs and benches and maybe even a rocket ship out of wood. All right, maybe I reached the upper atmosphere. I don't know, but that's where dreams can take you. They can take you to a world and a place that you've never even thought of, right? Or maybe you have thought of, but you never tried it, and you have this self-doubt, and you're like, I don't know if I could build a rocket ship out of wood, but I see it. If you could see a vision, but you've never tried it, how are you ever gonna know? You have to go and do this stuff. You have to build a sculpture. You got to start a custom knife handle company. You got to build those rocking chairs and those fucking park benches for the community. Right? Right? So now I said every year I have told myself this is the year I get my yard in order. This is the year where I actually have a home, at least on the exterior, where it's like I'm proud of this. Like I've been able to pay my own bills and maintain this home for over 11 years now, and that's a feat in itself, but it looks like shit. All right, you walk in my backyard, you're like, holy shit, people might not really see because they don't know every inch and detail of the yard like I do to my own yard, right? But I know, I see all the endless hours of work that I need to do to maintain a nice manicured property, okay? And then you take those little hiding places away from those critters and like, they start to be like, well, this place, they go somewhere else. And they're like, this place is way better than where I was at. They started moving all my shit. They fucking vacated me out of my own property and started moving my chairs, my TV, all the food that I have accumulated over the time. I'm just trying to survive and build a family. But this place over here is going to be a little nicer. This looks like this looks like a vacation property over here, right? So move on. I give all these little critters in my yard that has been so complacent and undisturbed, I give them a pass to go grow those wings, fly like an eagle, right? Spread those wings, go somewhere else. It's okay. It's okay. And you know what? You're going to find out, because once you start taking that chance, you're going to find out how much better off you are and how much more plentiful and nice of a setup that you could be set up in. Kamala Harris, another. It is not until you are set up that you are set up in a place, as she might say. She didn't say that, but if she would, that's probably how it would sound. A little something like that. So yeah, I guess the moral of the story is that you just gotta If you have a property, you have to maintain it. You have to put in the work, right? Do it incrementally. So it doesn't get to a point where time passes you by and now you are left with this almost immeasurable task that seems like a mountain, right? How do you eat an elephant? They say. Who's they? I don't know. Who said it? I don't know. But how do you eat an elephant? Because all elephants can be consumed. Not that you want to eat an elephant, but one bite at a time, right? So take those incremental steps. Don't make the mistake that I have made in neglecting my yard, right? If you like critters, set up a little safe haven. Get the little bird box, get a little squirrel feeder if that's your thing, whatever it is. But just like maintain it and control it. Otherwise, the shit gets out of control. You got overgrowth. You never make the rocking chairs. The carousel is the sculpture carousel. Everything, it's washed away. That vision is gone, right? High tide came finally, and it's like, nope, I have to take care of my business, right? And it's sad. I don't want to relocate and move all these little critters' homes, but I have to do it, and I'm going to do it, and that's what I suggest for everybody. If you start to see something, take care of it. Take care of it, because keep in mind, time will pass, and it will just get worse and worse and worse. Like the rabbit hole, sinkhole I have going on in my front yard, okay? All this stuff is going to be taken care of. Anyways, that's the end of the rant. This is going to be considered episode 64, I think it is. And hope you enjoyed the podcast. Thank you very much. Tune in next time for my next rant. I have a few things that I'm starting to write down, but every week, this is such a chore. This is such a lot of work to get down my thoughts, but it's cathartic, okay? This is mybetterhelp.com, all right? So thank you for listening. I hope it helps you in your home ownership endeavors. And this is a little bit of advice. Take it from an 11-year-old homeowner, okay? It's not all butterflies and rainbows over there. You got to put in the work, and you got to keep up with your shit. Otherwise, time takes control and it gets away from you. All right? It happens that quick. It will slip away from you if you're not paying attention. So keep your eye on the prize and have a good time while you're doing it. Throw on a podcast, some music, fucking throw on your goddamn American flag swimsuit, whatever you got, and just fucking knock that shit out. Okay, it's easy peasy incrementally. All right, now I'm just starting to keep on saying stuff I've been saying. So thank you very much. Have a good time. Listen again. Bye-bye.